Hello, my name is Eduardo. Today I am here with another tutorial for Appybuilder. Well, if you check, I am using Appybuilder, the gold version, and this tutorial can be followed with App Inventor or Thunkable or any other similar server, okay, based on App Inventor. Well, today we're going to make something very simple for this tutorial. Here we're going to add a score. Okay, if you check, I added a score. There are many ways to do this. Today I will show you one way to do it, okay, but also I have a tutorial about how to add a graphic score. In this tutorial I show you how to use PNG images, okay, to create a score. Okay, this is a good idea if you want to have a very cool font, okay, here in your canvas, because in canvas we cannot add a custom font. I am just using the default, okay, but I guess it's okay, it's easy. Okay, well, so basically that is the idea. We're going to go to that. So let's go to the original project. I guess it is this one. We're going to work with the English version. Well, I told you something, right, that I want to show you. This, so let's just hide this thing. Well, I told you that this graphic score, okay, so I will share the link here in the description. Okay, so this is a cool idea. Okay, it's not that easy as today, but I guess it looks very nice. I guess I will make another version if I have some time to show you the difference, but what, anyway, so we're going to start with this. So the idea is to create this score. The first thing that we're going to do, we're going to go here to the initialize event, and then we're going to add here a canvas. We're going to select canvas and we're going to change the color, okay, because we want to have a different color for the text. And also something that I wanted to show you. Remember that I had a tutorial about how to make the paddles in Inkscape? Well, you can use these images to change your game a little bit, okay, so because I really like them, so I just imported the graphics that we did in the tutorial. Please follow the tutorial, it's really easy to follow, okay, and you can make your own paddles. Okay, so for example, we can change the canvas background. Well, it is the horizontal, the main, canvas, table K. Well, we're going to use this one, that it's a green one. Then we're going to change paddle 1. We're going to use, instead of this one, we're going to use it from the tutorial from Inkscape. Paddle 1. We're going to use paddle 2. And that's it. I like them. And then probably we're going to change this pink color to something more something darker or something like lighter. I don't know. Probably I'm going to use something like really green for the horizontal main. Okay, so we are going to do that. This is just to show you how you can change your game, okay, easily. Okay, so I am just using these very simple images that we did in Inkscape. So well, let's go to main, let's change the color, background color, and let's select just something green. Here in the color, just select here, and let's go for something like that. Let's check it, do it. I guess that's okay, or probably lighter. Do it. No. This one. That's it. No, I guess darker. Something darker. I guess that's okay. And then you just can change the color of your screen. Let's change this to green. And let's change light background, light gray. I guess with dark gray just for now it's okay, and that's it. So we change a little bit the aspect of the game. Then you just have your buttons and everything is ready to work with. So maybe I will change the ball to white, but later. So let's go to the blocks, and we're going to start like modifying everything. Remember that I just did an Spanish version, and I changed here in this game, in the English version, we activate the game just touching the screen. Okay, but it has sometimes this thing, okay, that it's like freezed. So because it needs you to touch this, but sometimes we are really fast. Okay, anyway, so you just can change that. You can add a button here just to start the game instead of using the the button. But we are here just to add the score. Okay, so we just modify the color, and now we need two procedures. If you check, I have a tutorial about how to resize fonts. Okay, so I use using this resize procedure. Okay, I will show you how to make it. So the idea, it is pretty simple, okay, to resize the text. So we're going to create a procedure here, result procedure, and we're going to call it font resize. Okay, so let's call it font resize. Oh no, well, not resize, because we're not going to resize, we're going to calculate this thing. Okay, so let's call it font responsive. Check my tutorial about responsive text. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And make sure that in Designer, okay, this is very important to have the same aspect in different devices. Okay, try to keep it here in screen. Just make sure you are in responsive. Okay, well, so we're going to calculate this using multiply, and we're going to divide values. The first thing that we're going to insert here is we're going to create a variable, and we're going to call it font size, and let's add aspect. That's it. Then we're going to use this one that we just created here, that it will be the value, okay, of the font. And then here in the first one, we're going to use the screen. We're going to resize everything based on the width screen here. Then we're going to divide this by check. This is going to change according to your device. What number are you going to use? Well, with companion connected, okay, or your emulator, click on screen width and select do it. Then you have a value here that is 360. This is the 360 based on my screen width. So I'm going to copy this value into the next slot. So probably in your device it will be like different. Okay, so in mine it is 360. So when we change devices, some devices will have different values here, and they are going to be scaled based on this proportion. So that is the idea, very simple idea. Then we're going to create another procedure, and we're going to call it font resize. This is going to resize everything when we initialize the screen. Okay, so basically we're going to select canvas, font size, font size, and we're going to select a value here, but first we're going to insert this procedure that we just created, and we are going to add the value that we want. I was testing and I just like 75. For me, you can modify this value, okay, based on your device. So now this font resize, we are going to insert it in initialize. So we go here, initialize procedure, resize, font resize. Okay, just after changing colors, we use font resize for the canvas. Okay, basically. Now what's next? So we have fonts. Now we need to create another procedure, but first we're going to create the variables for the scores. We're going to call this score player 1, and we're going to set it to 0. Then we duplicate this one and we change it to player 2, and we set it to 0. Okay, these variables will hold or contain the scores. Now then we are going to create another procedure, and we're going to call it score update. Oh, sorry, score update. We're going to refresh the score, okay, with this. The first thing that we are going to use here in Canvas, select Canvas, then we go for draw text. Okay, so we use draw text here. We're going to draw first the score of the player 1, so we're going to use here this variable. This is the text. And now the position. The position, we're going to set it based on the percentage of the X is for the width and Y it is for the height of the canvas. So we're going to use canvas width times, and it is percentage. You have been following my tutorial, you know how to calculate the percentage. So in this case I'm going to place based on the width, okay, so on the width here, the width, probably in the 30%. To say 30%, we don't write 30, we have to write 0.3, okay, 0.3 is like the 30%. Okay, so now what about the height? Well, we can just duplicate this one and change this to height. Oh, sorry, height. And we're going to set the height, so based on the y-axis, so that's the idea. So we're going to set it to 0.2. Then we're going to see what's happening right now. So we can just drag here just to check. If I just run this procedure, do it, we have here the score. But what about the size? Size is not happening anything over there. Okay, so how can we fix that? Well, it's because we haven't loaded the screen. Okay, so we are going to refresh everything. Let's set to 8. And then we have just run the procedure. Do it. And then we have the text. Obviously the color looks awful or horrible. We're going to change because I changed the background, remember, to green. So probably we can use something like yellow or white. So we just do it. Okay, and that's it. And also in the initialize, we're going to add for the first time, okay, so the update procedure, because we want to load the score when we initialize. That means the zeros. Okay, so we're going to just run this thing and you have 0. Okay, it looks okay. So this is for player 1. What about player 2? Well, we are going to do something similar. We're going to draw another text. So we're going to duplicate this one. We're going to change the variable global score 1 to global score player 2. And then let me just check that everything is here correctly. So, and then we're going to change player 2, and then the position it has to change. Okay, so we're going to change the position, and we're going to use something similar. I guess it is the same height. Okay, so height, no problem. So we just need to modify the width because it's moving in the x-axis, so we need to increase it, and probably 0.7, that is the 70% of the screen. Okay, then we just do it, and we have score for player 2. That's it. Now, what's happening when we are changing this? It is drawing and drawing text over one and another and another and another. We have to clean this, okay? So just keep in mind that. Well, we're going to use this score update, and we're going to create another procedure just to add points to player 1 or to player 2. So we're going to create add. So let's call it score add points player 1. and we're going to add here, we're going to update the variable, the player 1 score variable here, player 1 score, and we're going to increase this value by 1. So we're going to increase the current score, player 1 score plus 1. Then we are going to duplicate this one. Sorry, not this one. We're going to duplicate all the score procedure, player 1, and we're going to change this to player 2. We write p2 here, player 2, the variable player 2, and then we have this. Now we have to insert this when we have collision in here and collision in here. Remember the edges? In the previous tutorial I explained you something about the edges. Okay, so if you have the edge here, this is edge number 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then you have -1, -2, -3, and -4, and then we start again with 1. So in this case, this is 1, 2, 3, it is edge 3. It is, if we touch, the ball touches edge 3, we are going to add a point to this guy. But if we touch edge -3, we're going to add a point to this guy. Basically that is the idea. So we're going to check the procedures for this, where we have the colliding things, the ball colliding. So if you check here, let's just move these procedures. Check. Here we have colliding with paddles, the ball. So, but we're not interested in the ball collision here, probably. Reset the ball, edge reach. This is the one that we want. Okay, so remember, it's very good to have organized your procedures, okay, because in that case you know where are you going to go. Now you have here something that it says, let me just expand this block, because in the English and Spanish version we did something different. It says here that if you touch 3 or -3 or -4 or minus blah 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 blah, all the edges, okay, well, you are going to reset the ball. If not, you are going to bounce. Okay, so you bounce the ball here when you touch any other how do you call this, edge. Okay, so we are going to update this thing, okay, because here it was very messy to have this kind of huge block. Okay, so don't forget, don't worry about this. We're going to change everything. So we want the ball to bounce. Okay, so I'm just going to do this just to optimize your code, and we're going to use here another logic, and we're going to use one OR instead of lots of ORs. And we're going to use here, if we get, let's duplicate this one because we're going to use some of these things. Touch edge. Let's call it edge, just edge. My edge. So if my edge is equals to 1, which is 1? This one. Or duplicate, or equals to -1, so the bottom, or this one, I want the ball to bounce. Okay, so we don't want to stop the ball, we want to bounce the ball. Else, so if we are touching any other edge, this one, these corners, or this, okay, so we want to stop the game, so we're going to use this thing. We're going to reset the ball, disable everything, and we can just eliminate this ugly block. So let's see if this is happening. We have that. That's it. Okay, so what's happening? So we want the ball to stop. So that is the idea. Up, bottom. Okay, so we touch this thing. So we call reset the ball. Reset the ball, it was in here. start game, move ball, reset the ball, set ball speed to 0, reset the game to false actually. Okay, so basically that is the idea. And we have the game over there. Well, so that is very important. Check, it is pretty different, this thing, from the other. It is just the opposite approach. Okay, so I really like this solution. It was very simple. So instead of having this or, well, now continue with the adding points. So we're going to add points, okay, here when we touch any of the screens, okay, in here. So we are going to use here if and check if, and we're going to add if orilla or edge, okay, so equals, let's duplicate this one, if orilla, it's I mean, we are having this point only when we touch any of the other, okay, so any of these ones, okay. If value equals to, actually we need to do something. I guess if we are touching this one, that is -2, -3, and this is 2, 3, 4, okay, so that means that the edge it's bigger. Okay, so in this case we're going to use, so we're going to use this condition if edge it's let's use this here, sorry, because I was when I made the other one, the demo that I showed you at the beginning, I wasn't considering the corner, because what happens if we touch the corner? So we have to keep that thing in mind. It is not very possible to happen, but yes, it happens sometimes. What happens when the edge it is bigger than 1 and, or no, it's bigger than 1 and less than 3. So greater than 1 and it is this, duplicate, less than 3. So that means that it's 2 or 3. Okay, so let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bigger than 1. No, in this case, if the edge and smaller than 6. Okay, so less than 6. Bigger than 1, so there is from 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, no. Less than 5. I guess that's the correct one. So we are going to use the procedure here. If this value it is bigger than 1, so that means that is 2, 3, 4. Okay, so okay, we are going to use here the procedure add points to player 1. Else if, but what happens if we are touching an edge? So we have here a value that is, I guess we have to use less than -1. Less than -1, less than -1, sorry, -1, and here greater than -5. I guess that's the correct one. We are going to duplicate this one, then we're going to check add points to player 2. Now there is something extra that we need to add. Every time we have this, just let me move this. So every time we have a point, we need to update the score. Okay, so but first we have to erase this current score, because if not we are going to have number over number. So, but I will show you what's happening. Right now we don't have anything. Why? Because we are not updating the score. So we need to call score update, and we are going to insert it in here after this procedure. So let's see. Check, the 2 is over the 0, so we need to clear the canvas every time we have a point. So we're going to do it in here. Now if we touch, now we have it like that. And we have the points. Let me check if I can make a point. Yes. Okay. And basically that is the idea. Well, in the original game, I guess, I was just checking the information. So the player who wins is the one who scores 11 points. I guess that's easy to make. So that is your homework for you. Okay. How to create a game over or winner procedure. Okay. So when you finish the game, okay, so you win. So you stop the game when you get the first one to get 11 points. And then another thing, what about if I get 11 points? Why not to display here a message that says winner? And if this guy gets 11 points first, why not to write something that you lose or loser? Okay, so basically that is the idea. And I guess I hope you like this tutorial. For the next video we will add, I hope, the game over thing, and also some sounds to make it look more interesting. And we're going to fix this thing that is happening when sometimes it's going really fast. Okay, so basically we are going to do that, and we're going to check. So I hope you like the tutorial. So what was the idea here? Reset the ball. 0 0 0 0. Okay, so we're going to do that, guys. I guess we're going to write here this friend in here. So my name is Eduardo. Please share this video with your friends. Check, that's strange. Okay, this is something that we need to fix. Check. But I guess I will try to fix it in the next video. Okay, so my name is Eduardo, and I will see you the next time. Thanks for watching this video, guys. So goodbye.